school. So we're super excited that you guys are here. Excited about you guys joining us. I'm excited about all my first timers that are coming to learn about K12 and all the stuff that we're doing. And those of you who are interested in virtual teaching. I know that the world has changed a lot, is changing a lot, will continue to change a lot, and this is just an awesome opportunity for those of you who just started teaching virtually to actually kind of learn, oh, what about, you know, teaching virtually all the time? So hopefully that's why you guys are here. I'm going to start off with a little bit. So we have our school representatives here. We actually have Chris Parker and we have Sharon Williams on. They are our leaders here for our K12 school. We have two recruiters on, Colleen and Courtney. Christy is here, she is our teacher trainer, and also two teachers on. So we have a wealth of knowledge. There'll be plenty of time to ask people questions. Once we get closer to the end, there'll be a Q&A time. We do ask if you can to kind of hold those big questions until the end. I would greatly appreciate it. But there may be some things that you have some questions about in the meantime. So just to get us grounded, I want to start with K12's mission statement. We help students reach their full potential through inspired teaching and personalized learning. So if you're interested in doing the same thing, then you belong here. So what is K12? We're the nation's leading provider of online curriculum. We do that through a variety of platforms. We have online public schools, online private schools, and then we have blended or hybrid schools. So it's a mix of brick and mortar and online programming. And then you could also purchase direct coursework. We started in 2000, which was such a long time ago that people were using dial-up. So we've been in the business for a very, very long time. And we are headquartered in Herman, Virginia, which is about 25 miles outside of the Washington, D.C. area. So how does online learning work? So I'm sure some of you have done some virtual schooling and with very little preparation and are now like, what does it look like if you prepare in advance? So our K12 powered teachers are state certified and they are thoroughly trained. We've trained over 5,000 teachers using our program. And we know you'll have more questions about what the day in the life looks like and what specifics look like, but teachers meet with their students in an online virtual classroom in a platform that looks somewhat like this, and then our teachers and parents communicate by email or phone to discuss student progress regularly. So one of the big things you'll learn is K12 is education for anyone. People for a variety of different reasons choose to move to virtual schooling. And it's generally because the schools that they have in their area are not a fit for them. And that could mean a lot of kind of different things, whether they need extra support, whether they'd like to go further, whether they just need something different. So I'm going to pass it over to Sharon and Chris, who are going to tell us about Indiana Gateway Digital Academy, which is our brand new school opening up.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Keisha. And I'm Sharon Williams, and I'm the Vice President of New Schools and Programs. And Chris Parker is the Director of New Schools and Programs. And we work together and support the launch of new schools, which means anywhere from teacher interviewing, training, operations. We do a lot of different things, but we're going to talk to you a little bit about what is Indiana Gateway, where is it? We partner with Clarksville School Corporation, and it is going to be ultimately a K through 12 school. This year we're going to start out as K through 11, and then 12th graders will matriculate for the next year. We actually looks like our business is booming, meaning interest is up, which we can all understand because of what's happening in the world. Parents don't know what to do with their children. They're afraid. and they certainly don't want a repeat of the spring, and so they're looking to schools that have the experience, which K12 does, and Indiana Gateway will do as well. Clarksville gave us a buzz not so long ago, within the last 3 or 4 weeks, and asked us to open up a school that's going to serve students statewide. Teachers must be fully certified in Indiana in order to teach for this school. And I did notice that there were some folks from other places. Don't leave yet, because get your questions answered. We do have postings for schools across the country. And so although Indiana might not be where you're certified, perhaps one of the states one of our schools across the country could use your expertise. So you must live in Indiana or very close to the border so you can get over the border. And you can see there it's a max of 50 miles outside of the Indiana border. We have a lot of positions open, and this might be the minimum that's open. We are seeing an increase in interest in the school. Where we thought we would be hitting 1,000 students, we will probably hit 2,000 students. So that number may double. It won't double on August the 6th, which is the first day of school. And we're very excited. So you're probably, taking a sneak peek at your calendar right now and say, today's the 20th. And so, yes, today is the 20th, which is why we're doing this today. And we're doing our interview fair tomorrow so we can fill up our teacher seats and get everyone ready to be trained for the first day of school. So I think, that's probably all, Keisha, that I have for today. We're really excited about this new school. I have a lot of experience in launching new schools, and so I promise you're in good hands. The infrastructure at K12, from our teacher training and talent development team to our leadership development team, are wonderful to work with. And it seems scary to be a new teacher in this platform. Keisha talked about dial-up. Don't talk about that, Keisha. I was one of those teachers eons ago, and we didn't have the platforms that we currently have today. I did see a question, so I'll quickly answer it. We will work in, it looks like a combination of Zoom and Blackboard. It's called Neuro, and it's a new tool, but it is video centric, and so all of our teachers do use video, and they use video every day. So I know that you'll have lots more questions as we go along, but I'm not going to answer those right this minute. I'm going to keep on going.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I'm just going to put up, you saw we have at least the very minimum 27 positions. They are already posted on our website at this moment right now. If you would want to go on there and review. Sharon also gave a little teaser, and you guys saw an email earlier that we are looking to interview tomorrow. So if you're having just you're super interested after all you're listening to, we can definitely get you guys set up to talk to some of our great leaders tomorrow, and we will give you kind of that information in like 2 seconds. But before we do that, I want to pass it to Colleen. Colleen is our recruiter for Indiana, and so she's going to talk to you a little bit more. She can talk about any of these positions, Colleen, and then I'll scoot it over to what it looks like to apply.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Keisha. Welcome, everybody. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names in the chat box, which is awesome. I love that. We are currently, again, looking for a lot of teachers ranging anything from the elementary level to the secondary level in all different content areas. We are looking for French, Spanish teacher, art teacher, music teacher. We're definitely looking to add special education teachers to the mix. So we have a wide variety of positions posted at this time. Looks like some more. We have PE health, business technology, school counselors. We're even looking for some advisor roles. So we definitely have a wide range of positions. They all can be found on our careers page, www.k12.com/careers. We'll touch more on that in a little bit, but these.
I'll go back, I promise.
Okay. Okay, so perfect. So this would be www.k12.com/careers. You'll want to scroll down on the page until you see the school staff option there in the middle. Once you click on the school staff positions, that will take you to our job board, where you then can narrow your search to include only positions in Indiana, where you would live and be certified to teach. So that will just kind of help narrow down from the hundreds of positions that we do have posted just to the ones available in Indiana.
Okay, I promised that I would go back, and I will go back. And one of the things we want to talk about is, why should you apply to K12? Now, I'm sure that everybody has a lot of reasons why they're interested, but I think we need to, we're looking for passionate people that want to help students learn. And it's really that simple. If that's where you are and that's where you feel, and you're interested in maybe doing it a little differently and doing it virtually, this is the opportunity for you. I just put a couple of things up. We're named number 5 of companies to watch for remote jobs. We have a competitive salary and a comprehensive benefits package from the first day. We have a really, really cool partnership with Southern New Hampshire University, where you could get your online master's degree in online instruction, which is something that doesn't exist anywhere at the moment. So only here at K12 could you learn about getting your master's in online education. And we just have really, really great professional development. And I wanted to kind of take this time. I thought it would be great to hear from Christy, our teacher trainer, and she could talk to you a little bit about what it looks like if you were, say, to apply tomorrow and get started with us in a few weeks. Christy?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, speaking of dial-up and then, movies like Blast from the Past, when I was growing up, the movie Beetlejuice was popular, a little different of a movie, I realized. But there was a point where, one of the main characters, Michael Keaton, his head was just spinning. It was just spinning around and around. And sometimes I'm thinking, oh, I'm having a Beetlejuice moment because my head is spinning. And it's spinning out of such a positive need to stay on top of the educational world, supporting our teachers, supporting our students, and doing it day in and day out the very best that we absolutely can. And there's always a lot of need to shift and move and pivot. And that is one of the things that our teacher trainer team does. And we do it quite well, if I can toot our own horn. So we are very passionate about making sure that from day 1 to day 600 and whatever and beyond, all of the teachers that support students in K-12 schools feels like they have the tools and the resources available to be the best they can be. And if they don't, they let us know, and we create them for them in order to make sure that they're feeling supported and growing. We have some amazing programs in and of itself that our team is working to develop. We have lots of different partnerships in the works in terms of continuing education. And so that's really exciting to share with our teachers that come on board for this amazing journey. We support all of our new teachers with extensive live and asynchronous training through what we call K12 Training, which is our learning platform internally. And so essentially, you can be guaranteed to have a partner in our team walking alongside of you, making sure that you get the answers you need, the support you need, so that you feel like you can be the very best you can be. So don't let the fear of something new persuade you to do something different. Just channel your inner growth mindset and full well know that we're going to be here every step of the way.
Thank you, Christy. And to prove if Christy's telling the truth, no, I'm just kidding. I know you are. I would love to hear Melissa and then Heather, if you could talk a little bit about your experience here at K12. Just introduce yourself, tell us how long you've worked here, how long you've been in teaching, and what you would say about why you joined.
Okay, I'll jump in. I'm Melissa Jackson. I've been at K12 for 5 years now. I've been teaching for about 20. Which seems like an awful long time now that I say it out loud. But yes, 5 years here in K12. I've been with Insight School of Michigan. I love it. I really can't see myself teaching anyplace else. I really thought when I first started here that it would be so hard to get to know the students and so hard to do like developing rapport with kids, but you get used to it and you just dive right in, and it just surprises me daily, like how much our kids can do and how close you actually do get to kids working with them online. So I really can't see myself going back to brick and mortar school, because this has just been a great experience overall.
And what grade levels have you done?
Oh, sorry. I teach high school English. So this past year I actually covered 9th through 12th grade.
Okay. Heather?
Yeah, my name is Heather, and I have taught this is my 15th year in education and going on my 10th year working for K12. And I have taught 7th and 8th grade ELA. This year I am teaching 6th grade ELA, so a little bit different. But just kind of going off what Melissa said, when I started teaching online, I was worried about being able to make those connections with students, but you do find a way to connect with them and to really build those relationships. And I think that is sort of pivotal in the success of your students. Sometimes you can have, like say you had 100 students, if you keep a spreadsheet and kind of just document little things about them to remember, little aspects and little things that you can remember to talk to them about and just build those connections. But same thing, I can't imagine going back to teaching in a traditional brick and mortar. I'm not sure I would ever do that again. So I've loved teaching for K12 and hope to do it until I retire.
Thank you so much, Heather. I'm showing this twice because it's important twice to apply. I know I'm seeing a lot of questions that my wonderful team is able to just jump in and answer. But, even if you're not ready to apply right at the moment, or if you're, you need a second, still go to k12.com/career and look at kind of what we do. There's some pretty videos on there. You can even just look at kind of what the opportunities are and kind of make a note or put an alert if there's a certain job that you're looking for or something of that nature. I do want to kind of ring the bell right now. We will have opportunities for you to interview with our leaders tomorrow. We previously sent out this email to people. Hopefully you have checked your email, or if you haven't checked your email, you can check your email. It gives kind of deep directions. Priscilla, if you could put the link in here right now, that would be awesome, and that would be amazing. What you do is you just use the link. You can sign up. I need you to upload your resume and certification. You 100% need to upload both to be able to be considered. And then you can just sign up for a time slot. It's that easy. We give you a link, and then you'll meet with some of our leaders tomorrow. But again, you do need to put your resume and certification. It's right to the right. When you put in your contact information, it'll say what's your first name, last name, and then literally resume is right next to it. So go ahead and upload that. Is this different from the HireVue interview you completed? Yes, it is. It is different. Colleen, is there anything you want to say there about there's some people who are kind of in various stages of the process?
Sure. So some folks here today may have already completed the digital interview portion. Tomorrow is going to be more of a Zoom interview with some of the leaders at the school to kind of discuss openings and positions and things of that nature. So if you have already completed the digital interview, this is definitely, this is different for sure.
And I'd say this is a step that we can connect them both. You'll still be doing both pieces. So this is a chance for you to have that once in a lifetime opportunity of signing up and can get in front of a leader quickly. I did also put on here, go ahead and work on your pitch. These are 30-minute interviews, so you want to make sure that you practice what you can say in 30 minutes, because the way Zoom works is you get shut out right after 30 minutes is over, so you don't want to, you know, you can't linger at the door, I guess is what I'm saying. We've now come to the Q&A. We do have some frequently asked questions that we sent out previously, but we're happy to take questions now at this point. I'm just gonna allow Priscilla to kind of keep an eye on what the good questions that we need to discuss. There may be some that just get answered in the chat, but happy to answer any questions that help people make decisions. Chandral, I see you raised your hand. Do you want to just unmute and ask?
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much, Ms. Pierce. Actually, I am from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I was so excited to get the invite to be able to see what is actually taking place here with K12. So thanks a lot to all of you all for that. Outside of that invite, my question is, how can I get the attention of K12 with Louisiana? I have been applying since 2012, and I'm a very, very extensive teacher and school counselor with a strong, strong background, and I don't know what else to do. So I need you all to help me understanding what it is that I need to do to get their attention.
If anybody wants to take that before I push somebody to take that. I would say the biggest thing, we had a webinar that Christy was on 2 weeks ago, and our teacher there had applied for 5 years before she got the role. Some areas we just do not have a lot of positions. You know, if we're opening a new school there, then there's going to be all this flurry for things. But sometimes if there's only one position and 1,000 people apply, it's really, really hard. The biggest thing I'll tell you is to keep applying, to keep, you know, come to these webinars. That we do have events every 2 weeks. There's always a recruiter that attends. There's always somebody that attends. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter, you should definitely do that. Just put your face somewhere that people can't ignore you. That would be my advice. If anybody else wants to chime in, feel free.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And do keep trying. It doesn't mean that we don't see you. It might be that there's too many people to see for few positions. I see a good question in here. Can you describe a typical day for a teacher? So Heather, do you want to talk a little bit about what your day looks like? Your typical day?
This year is a little bit different because I did switch to a different K12 school, but we will start we're expected to be online from 8 to 4, and my first class will start at 8:30. And the way that they do it, they break the students up into 5 different groups. So they test them at the beginning of the year, and they split them into 5 different groups based on their levels. And so since I'm teaching sixth grade English, I will basically teach the same standard 5 times a day, just to different leveled groups. So you adjust it obviously for your higher level learners, and again, you differentiate it for the lower as well. And so my classes will be back to back from 8:30 to 1:50 with a 30-minute lunch, and then from 2 to 4 we will do small groups, and then that's also a time where I will reply to emails and call families to answer any questions they may have or just support them that way.
Thank you so much. And there was a question asked about curriculum. You did kind of talk a little bit about how you adjust, but can you talk a little bit about how it's provided to you so you're able to teach all the kids?
So this is my first year at this new school this year, but they use a program called Star 360. I believe that's what it's called, and they'll test the students right when they come in. And they have like pods of teachers. So for middle school, for 6th grade, there are 4 of us teachers in math, English, science, and social studies, and we teach the same, for example, like 150 students. And so they have tested them before, like as soon as they come into the program, they're tested. And then they are put into like 1 through 5, like a group. And so I'll probably teach, they said around 30 kids per session. And they already have them sort of leveled, you know, based off that initial testing that they do. And so you can just sort of design your lesson around the needs of those students. And then we do have time from 2 to 4 built into the day if you teach a lesson on text evidence, for example, and you see that students aren't getting it, you can pull a few students into like a small group during that time too. So it's a nice way that you can sort of differentiate that way too.
Great. Christy, do you want to add anything about curriculum?
Yeah, so when we take a look, we run two different learning management systems, so to speak. One is our what is called our online school, which supports kindergarten through 5th grade, and then we have a platform that we coin online middle and high school, so the OMHS, and that is a different program, so they don't interact with each other, but they are set up very similarly. Depending upon state requirements in terms of standards that are followed, that will determine how a teacher interacts with that curriculum. But when we take a look at both of those learning platforms, we really have strategically aligned the content to the Common Core, which is one of the, you know, the hallmarks, if you will, of standards in education, with the idea that from there, teachers can then maneuver if their states differ. You know, for instance, we have some states that don't follow Common Core, or they follow it a little bit and they do something else. And so when we have those 2 different platforms, that's what a teacher can expect, unless courses have been written specifically for that state because the state doesn't align tightly enough with the Common Core. And that would be something that Heather, you know, can definitely share out, because I'm not entirely sure about Indiana in terms of it following Common Core, because I'm a teacher by trade out of Michigan, and Michigan doesn't really, we kind of do our own thing a little bit, which a lot of our states do. So all that to say, the curriculum itself, it's really designed to be used as it stands, but we know and we encourage teachers to personalize and differentiate based on their students' needs. And so teachers do have the ability to adjust the platform. They can add lessons, they can add content in terms of links and videos, they can add announcements like a bulletin board, like we would be familiar with doing in the brick and mortar, and they can move things around within the content, and that is something strategically that the teacher trainer team would support all teachers on doing, because there is a definite process in order to make sure that it works well, because it's designed in a systematic nature. All of our curriculum is designed by teachers from the field with tons of years of experience, so it's not created in some room with, you know, some folks that are just very knowledgeable on, you know, technology. There is a human component to our curriculum, so I do feel pretty passionate about that.
Thank you so much, Christy. There are I see 2 big questions, but then Priscilla, if you can keep me honest on what I'm not seeing. For tomorrow, you must have an Indiana license, an unexpired Indiana license, to apply for the interview fair. If you're working on it, if you're in a certification program at the moment, if you are living in a different state and are moving, you will not be able to interview tomorrow. Only people that when they apply, they're able to put in their active certification into HireVue will be granted an interview. April, you asked a really good question. You see the resume button, but you don't know what goes in additional file. That is your certification. If you could put your cert right in there, that's the additional file. HireVue won't let us change it to certification, but that's what it is. That's what I need from you. I know there are more questions, Priscilla or Colleen or anyone, if you see it, if you could shout out anything you see that we need to say out loud, though I do see you guys.
I've seen it. Keisha, just a hot minute. I've seen a couple that they don't have certification, they don't have, you know, or whether it's they've never had one or they have a cert from a different state. We are looking for folks for student advisors. And so if, you know, look for that job rec and apply for that. If you still want to work with this new school, you know, a few things I didn't say that I should say. It is the hardest job you'll ever love. It's an exciting time when you're opening a brand new school and you're leaving your fingerprints on the beginning of something great. And so you've got to be willing to work hard. It's not easy to start, as Christy said. Beetlejuice, I'm going to remember that probably for a long time. I think I've already had that experience earlier today, so that just might be what it is. But you know, it is. I've been in your chairs, although we didn't have Zoom at the time. Been a teacher in this model, and as rewarding as your brick and mortar experience is, this is as well. And so if there is a role that you see on our website that might match your passion, you know, please, I encourage you to apply.
Thank you. Go ahead, Colleen, and then I'll.
Yeah, sure. I've seen a couple of things come through about activities during the school year for students to be involved in, and if there's anything special during their senior year, you know, including graduation. So I don't know if Heather, you just kind of wanted maybe to touch on a couple of activities that kind of just bring students together throughout the school year.
Sure. I've gone to several different things. Sometimes they'll have events like Bowl across Indiana, and so they'll plan bowling events in different cities so that the students that are in that area can go and meet not only some teachers that live in the area, but also other students. And so they do a good job of trying to plan some community events all over the state that can, you know, people can go wherever they're close. And then of course, when testing rolls around, you will go to a testing site as well, close to wherever you live, and can meet some of the other students and teachers in that area.
Melissa, I wanted to ask you, there's some really good questions in here about student and parent engagement and how that looks online. Would love to kind of hear from you how it looks and any tips you have for, you know, keeping people engaged.
Oh, sure. It is different. I do a lot of stuff via email or telephone. Pretty much that's all we use. I do see them every once in a while at the different events that we were just talking about. It can be a struggle to kind of get some kids engaged, but I find overall that parents are really interested in this platform and they really want their kids to do well, and it's different for them, so they're interested. And so whether the kids, when the kids do kind of disengage, I find that it's a phone call to the parent, talking with the parent, finding out what's going on with them. It really helps kind of bring them back and focus on school and what's going on in class. And then it's really important to, as you design your class, to kind of think about making it more interactive and fun. And that usually keeps kids engaged a lot too. And then the more engaged they are, they're going to pay attention to you in class.
Great. Christy, Heather, any of you want to add anything about student engagement or parent engagement or engagement techniques?
You know, I think it's interesting because in the 4 years that I've been supporting teachers as an instructional coach and now teacher trainer, time and time again, I hear so many teachers in our online schools with K12 just talking about how they have stronger relationships now than they did when they were in the brick and mortar. And I think a lot of that, you know, Heather and Melissa have touched on in terms of we often have to go that extra mile to connect with our families and show that there is a human behind the computer and that we care about them. You know, we don't see them at the door of our classroom in a building, but we're on the webcam with them in class so that they know there's an actual body behind the screen. And we're making phone calls and sending text messages and sending emails. And I think that, you know, a lot of our families thrive on that type of support versus, you know, having to go into a school or make an appointment or wait for parent-teacher conferences. And you know, interestingly, a lot of our schools do have parent-teacher conferences, and they do offer those opportunities. So I think, and as Melissa mentioned, you know, working to make those classroom experiences applicable to our students. All of our students want to know, why does this matter to me? Why do I need to know this? And Heather and Melissa both have done such a phenomenal job in their instruction. I can say that because I was able to walk alongside them in the instructional coaching capacity. And so I'm so thankful that they're here. But they both thrive on making the content relatable to students. Like, this is why you need to know this. You may not like this content, but this is how it's going to help you, and really working to provide students with different ways to engage, whether it's a game or making a storyboard or making a comic strip or offering them an opportunity to draw what they know. And those are the things that we do quite well in the virtual online setting.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Bob, you asked how to update your application to include your updated license. You can email talentteam@k12.com if somebody can just throw that into the chat room, and just send them the license and your name, and we can definitely update that for you. Annie asked a good question. Can you talk to me about how much is live teaching? So she wants to know, how much do you do kind of, well, she asked about pre-recorded videos versus live teaching, but I think the synchronous versus asynchronous would be another great question. If either of my teachers have an answer for that one.
Yeah, Heather, if you can reiterate your schedule. Again, I mean, I think it varies, you know, from school to school, but between your schedule and Melissa's schedule, you know, they were pretty tight across the border. If you can share that again, I think that would be helpful.
Sure. I start teaching live classes every day at 8:30, and our live classes are recorded. And so if a student, for example, has a doctor's appointment or an excused absence, they can go back and watch the recording afterwards. But I will be doing 5 live classes each day. And so I think the classes are 50 minutes long. And then if I need to do small groups, I may have additional live classes, just depends on the need. So your scheduled day is from 8 to 4 typically. And so, and again, it does vary by school, but I would expect to teach anywhere from 3 to 5 hours probably of live teaching each day.
Thank you so much, Heather. Kay Cheney asked, how do we find interview fairs for other states? At the moment, this is our only opportunity. That is why it's so special for you to just jump in and interview. Otherwise, you need to apply on our website. We have, as of last week, 650 positions open. I bet that number is probably closer to 800 probably at this moment, if not higher. So we are actively looking in all states, nationally, that we work in for people to apply to positions. So please do, you know, listen to the people on here, and if it interests you, we do also have webinars where we have a recruiter office hours coming up July 27th. You'll be able to talk to recruiters from lots of different areas, but we will not have any more interview fairs at this point. We will also be at Ed Week's Last Chance Fair on Wednesday and Thursday. There are plenty of places to connect that won't necessarily be an interview fair, but you'll still get to talk to some good people. There's a question about when the position is posted for high school science, what science course is specifically taught?
We need all the major science course teachers: chemistry, biology, physics, earth science, we need them all.
Yeah, so it's more of a kind of a pooler. So if you're interested in science, apply, and we can talk further about what that means.
Also a question about the advisor position, the advisor position is kind of like a they serve a couple different roles. One, they support our students as they are new to the school and help us with making sure that every student has a strong start. And so they provide orientations and just ensuring that they're on track with their courses and are able to navigate our systems. And then they kind of shift in their roles as they do less onboarding and more just kind of tracking to ensure students are engaged. And so they typically work with a lot of students and turn into mentors or stalkers, if you will, that ensure the kids find their way back to their computer, because sometimes they get lost. I don't know how those machines get lost in the home, but they seem to not log into class. And so, really then start supporting on motivating students, and serve as mentors in a different aspect than just strictly onboarding. And I know there's been a lot of questions about, will we interview anyone else tomorrow? Our focus tomorrow is on teachers, but in the event that we have open slots, we will fill them with other positions as we have spots.
I am a little behind in chat, so if you guys can keep me honest, I missed the last 20. So is there anything, if there's anything that you guys saw that you definitely need to answer, please feel free to jump in and make sure that we're covering them. I want to make sure that everyone kind of has an answer. Darren, 894 positions. Thank you for keeping me honest. I told you over 800.
I think there's a question around if teachers and non-teachers can interview tomorrow, or is this only for teachers? And then who is interviewing tomorrow?
So Sharon just answered, we prefer teachers. Right now, teachers only, teachers first. If you're interested in if you're looking at one of our admin positions, you can email talent team and let us know that you're interested, and we can fill you in. You won't hear an answer today, but we can definitely kind of check in and see what's left.
But please apply because just because we're only interviewing teachers tomorrow, we're going to be interviewing until all those positions are filled. And we all have the same calendar, and we have 14 days till the first day of school, just in case you need us to twitch a little bit. And we have different positions. So Chris and I will be interviewing tomorrow. We're continuing with interviewing. We also have our Northern Region Vice President of Academics will be interviewing tomorrow, and then we've got some friends on our talent and development team that are also helping us interview tomorrow.
Does INDGA follow the Clarksville school schedule? They do.
We do, yes.
And I see most of the other things people are responding. Again, these are all the roles. Let me go back really quick so you guys see all the roles that are currently up right now. You can apply to any of them on our website. So if you want to be an academic advisor and you love this conversation, go ahead and apply for it right now. And if you want to, you can shoot us a quick email at talent team and say, hey, I applied for it right now and I'm open tomorrow. If you're open, maybe we can find some time for us to go ahead and have that chat so we can connect. But like Sharon said, if it isn't tomorrow, it'll be at some point. Dana asked us 6 through 12. Yep, Courtney already got it. I think we are winding down on the questions as well as winding down on time. So I do want to make sure, Bob, I saw you didn't get the link to the fact. We'll send it out as with the recording after this. So you'll still get the fact sheet. Most of them we talked about in here, but if you guys didn't get it, there'll still be a chance to.
And just to build off the certification real quick, even if you're certified, just middle school 5 to 9, we're definitely hiring just teachers in that middle school range. So don't please apply to that position, even if you only have that middle school certification, because we're definitely looking for, middle school and high school teachers. If you have that 5 to 9 certification, definitely apply.
Marcel makes a good point. If you're interested in middle school and high school and have certifications, apply both. Say that you're interested in both. Let us know kind of the range. We don't want to limit you if you're like, last year I did 6th grade and I don't want to get stuck in this one. We're happy to have you interested in more things than less things. Okay, I see a lot of thank yous. Is there anything else that anybody on the K12 side wants to say before we kind of jump off of here?
Apply.
Yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. We got you. You just come right alongside, put your name in the hat. Put your name in the hat, even if you're not 100% sure. So
talent team at K12 is the email, all one word, all lowercase. Thank you guys so much for coming to this meeting, for learning, for asking good questions. We are so excited that you joined us, and we are looking forward to talking to you even further. So best of luck to everybody. Enjoy your last few weeks of rest. Try to rest, and we will talk with you soon. Thank you so much, guys.
See you tomorrow.